What is up guys, Dan from the Elite 4 crew here, and we are back with the American Pokemon Association. I know what you're thinking, you're not American, Dan, and you're right, I'm not. I'm one of the few Brits in the league. I think I might actually be the only one this season, I'm not certain off the top of my head. But this season is very, very special, guys. If you've seen the APA before on our channel, you'll know that it's a showdown league. It's currently in its 6th season, coming to the end of its 6th season, and it's a very successful league. And it has become so successful that we are now expanding into our first ever Wi-Fi season. So that's really, really exciting. That is so exciting. So that means that we're on 3DS. We're not on Pokemon Showdown anymore. We're recording on 3DS. All battles are being recorded. A lot of people are doing team builders, I know that. Everyone is doing a draft analysis like this one. So if you want to go see the other teams in the competition, go check them out. But last night, on Sunday night, we had our live draft stream. And it was awesome. Thank you so much to everyone that came out to show your support. It was absolutely incredible. We had a great time. And all I'm going to do for you now is I'm going to give you a short kind of brief analysis / recap of the draft that we took. And if you don't know who we are, guys, I am the coach of the Addlestone Ampharos. The Addlestone Ampharos, and we are going to go in hard this season. We're going to go in hard this season. I wish. So I joined the APA in Season 3. At the end of Season 3, I took over a team, and I was crap. I was honestly so crap. I finished... So bear in mind, I took over a team that was 0 and 2. I think I finished, like, 3 and 9. I think I finished 3 and 9. So overall, I actually finished 3 and 7. Which is still bad. It's still bad. Don't get me wrong. Whereas now, this season, I'm currently 6 and 3. I'm currently 6 and 3. That's what I finished last season. Last season, I finished 6 and 3. We've got 3 games left of this season. I am pretty confident of finishing something like 8-4. 8-4, yeah. I would say that we go 8-4. Right now, I'm aiming for 9-4 because 9-4, 9-3, 9-3. But anyway, enough about the Showdown League. We are all about the APA League. We are going to go hard this season. We are going to go in and we are going to show people that we know what we're doing. Because sometimes I don't even know, I think I know what I'm doing. But I want to prove to people that I do. So, without any further ado, guys, let's jump in to our first pick. We were, in the draft order, we were something like 7th or 8th out of 12. So, not the best. To be honest, pretty bad position. But we still got the Pokemon that I really wanted to build our team around. The first pick of the Addlestone Ampharos is Celesteela. Celesteela, man. Honestly, what a mon. Let's have a look at these base stats, right? 97 HP, 101 attack, and 107 special attack. Defensive side, we're on 103 physically and 101 specially. And speed, obviously, is nothing. It's 61. But it doesn't matter, because this thing is bulky, and it packs a punch. It can pack a punch if we needed to. Probably most of the time we will be running a defensive set, either physically or specially, just because its moveset isn't the greatest, but it does have moves like acrobatics, it has heavy slam, and then it has a great recovery move such as Giga Drain, it gets Leech Seed, just looking at it here. It does get Air Slash if we fancy a couple of crits. Why not? I guess Fire Blast, Flamethrower, Flash Cannon, obviously Hidden Power, Iron Head. Hidden Power is something we can abuse. Rock Slide even. Seed Bomb. It gets Stone Edge as well. And it gets... and the use of Substitute as well could actually come in handy just because of how bulky this thing is. Some things might actually struggle to break the sub on it. If we can sub and seed, that's something that we can run on this. But as I say, we can go offensive with this, guys, because of its moveset is decent. It gets Earthquake as well. Energy Ball. Explosion. Custard Berry Explosion, who knows? We can run so much with this thing. I'm so excited to use it. As it has one of the best abilities in the game, if not the best, Beast Boost. Pokemon's highest stat is raised by 1 if it kills another Pokemon. It doesn't get any better than that. So again, because its stats are so evenly distributed, aside from its speed obviously, you know, depending, one week we could have attack as our highest, one week defense, special attack, special defense. It could be anything. So it makes us really hard to prep for. It does make us really hard to prep for. Because if this thing gets a kill, then that's a free setup. That's a free setup. This thing is so bulky, and with a steel flying type, it's an OP Skarmory basically, guys. Obviously, it doesn't have access to as good recovery. It doesn't get Roost, but Leech Seed and Giga Drain are more than enough for this thing to do what it needs to do. In terms of item usage, you know, Rocky Helmet, leftovers, things like that. You know, kind of the typical defensive things. But who knows? We could run a band on this thing one day. It'd be sick. And even a Scarf. Max speeds at Timid or Jolly is 243. So with a Scarf, we're looking at like 360, 364, 365, which is nothing. It would catch someone off guard. We don't know. You could do anything with it, honestly. So it's really exciting prospect to be able to use Celesteela, and it was definitely something that I wanted to be able to build the team around. So we started off very bulky. And the bulk is about to get even more real as we move on to our second overall draft pick, Latias. Now, I wanted a dragon straight up because in previous drafts, I've got on a very strong Steel Dragon Fairy core. I've used things like Goodra in the past, so Goodra was the first really dragon type that I really actually enjoyed using. I had things like Dragon before, so I decided this time that I actually wanted to get a dragon in early and get one of the big guys in. So Latios actually went the same round. Panther took Latios, which wasn't a problem because Latias was there. I knew I wanted one of them. All it means is that obviously Latias is the slightly more bulky defensive option. So we have to have a look at the stats for Latias. 80 HP, 80 attack, kind of mediocre. 90 defense, 130 special defense, 110 special attack, and 110 speed. So again, this thing is very versatile. It has an awesome ability in Levitate, and its just Dragon Psychic typing is absolutely incredible. Just in terms of it just adds a certain amount of bulk to this Pokemon. Obviously, we are weak to things like Knockoff, which a lot of people do run a lot. But this thing's moveset is just awesome. I actually love it so much. Things like Carmine, so we can try and set up if need be. If we're in on something that can't touch us, then no reason why not to, as we do get Roost as well. I'm pretty sure we'll get Roost or Recover. Either way, it doesn't really matter. Draco Meteor is the best move in the game by far. So that's something that we can do as well. We can defog with this thing. It's just so versatile. Healing Wish. Do we get Actual Wish? We do get Actual Wish as well. I love Wish Passes, guys. I absolutely love Wish Passes because I'm someone that's quite prone to making mistakes. I do love Wish Pass, but just because we can give HP to something that doesn't normally get reliable recovery, like Celesteela. So this thing supports Celesteela so well. Offensively, we also get Sucker Punch. More setup moves like Tailwind, but again, Thunderbolt, Thunder Wave as well. It gets Trick. You can trick a Choice Scarf onto a Porygon 2 and it's going nowhere. You know what I mean? Rest, Reflect Type, Reflect, Psyshock and Psychic. So again, we have a bit of maneuverability whether we want to hit things on the special side or the physical side. It can set up screens if you really want it to. Ice Beam, Earthquake. This thing's moveset is actually incredible. So I'm really excited to use Latias this season, and hopefully she comes through for us. The next pick that we have is, if you didn't think our team was bulky enough already, people are going to hate me this season. We drafted Tangrowth with our third pick. Tangrowth is just an absolute beast. If you guys haven't seen it in draft format before, this thing is just such a beast. Looking at its stats now, 100 HP, 125 defense. Special defense is shoddy, it's only 50. But the thing is, you can put an assault vest in this thing and it still puts in work. With an assault vest, obviously max special defense. If I just calc this, 218 times 1.5. So again, you're looking about the mid 300s, which is nothing to stick your nose up at. As well as having Regenerator as an ability. Really wanted to try and get a nice Regenerator core going. So it's another one of those things where Tangrowth is going to be so hard for our opponents to break down. When you combine that with Celesteela and Latias, they don't have a lot of overlapping weaknesses. Ice at the minute is a bit of a problem. Obviously super effective against Latias and Tangrowth. So if we get hit by an Ice Beam, it's probably going to hurt. But the thing is, Latias' special defense is so high, and whilst Tangrowth's defense is obviously higher than Latias's, so these two complement each other really, really well. Obviously, depending on what threat we're facing, if it's a physical attacker or a special attacker, we can switch in accordingly to take those hits with no problems at all. As I say, only the Ice type overlapping, but we do have something for that, so that's something that we'll talk about a bit later on. But again, the Regenerator ability is absolutely incredible, and then looking at this thing's moveset, I absolutely love it. It gets Synthesis, we've got Reliable Recovery, obviously Giga Drain, Leech Seed. We can run, I think this thing gets Spore. I could be wrong. No, it doesn't get Spore, it gets Stun Spore. It gets Stun Spore, which is okay. It gets Knock Off as well, which is pretty cool. Moves like Poison Jab. This thing's got 100 attack, so it's going to hurt. It can put in a bit of work. It even gets Sword Stance. We may even run sub-Sword Stance one day. Who knows? This is what I love about League format. It's all about running gimmicks and things like that, and things to catch your opponent off guard. And so I'm really, really excited to see what we can do with some of these mons. So I'm really glad that we've got Tangrowth. Really, really glad that we managed to get Tangrowth on the team. But at this stage, you're looking at it and you're thinking there's not a lot of offensive presence there. Obviously, again, Tangrowth, Latias both have and Celesteela all actually have decent attack stats. Tangrowth having 100 in attack, Latias having 110 in special attack, and Celesteela having over 100 in both. These things can actually still pack a punch, so it's not like we haven't got any offensive threat. However, I did want to get something a bit pacier and something that can really punch holes through teams. So next pick was indeed Crocodile. Now I've never actually used Crocodile. Not even in League, not in Showdown or anything. I've never used it. So really, really excited to use this guy. Intimidate ability or Moxie. I'm really excited to use Moxie. Moxie is such a good ability. It's basically Beast Boost, but obviously just for attack, but that's what it would be anyway. Looking at his stats, 117 attack, 92 speed. So we can slap a Choice Scarf on this, we can slap a Choice Band on this, depending on the opponent's team, depending on how fast or how pacey the opponent's team is. You know, we can definitely do something with the decent amount of speed that this thing has. In terms of its bulk, 95 HP, 80 defense, 70 special defense. So we don't really want to be catching an Ice Beam anytime soon. Again, we are adding to our Ice weakness, but again, that is something that we have kind of dealt with. Again, we have Celesteela, who's going to be tanking those for days, to be honest. Well, obviously it's neutral to Celesteela, but its bulk is just incredible. But Crocodile, again, supported by such bulky mons, this thing is really going to put in work this season. Really, really going to put in work this season. As I say, Moxie is something that I'm really excited to use. And looking at its moveset, things like it gets Aqua Tail. What's that all about? If we need Aqua Tail, then we can run that. Brick Break. It gets Dragon Claw. Also gets Dragon Tail. Dragon Tail is a move that I really am a fan of. You know, we can start phasing around. It gets Stealth Rocks, obviously. So this is our first Stealth Rocker on the team. I probably don't really want to waste a move slot for Stealth Rocks on this, but it's something that we can do. It's an option that we have. Earthquake, Fire Fang, let's have a look. Knockoff, obviously Stab Knockoff is going to be really clutch. And Pursuit as well. We can Pursuit trap those pesky Psychic taps, which would be really cool. Outrage this thing gets, guys. Outrage. Low Kick, Power Up Punch. Power Up Punch for the Moxie. That would be sick. That would be sick if we can pull that off at least once this season. Obviously Rock Slide, Shadow Claw, and Stone Edge and Superpower as well. So this thing has got some powerful moves. It's got a lot of coverage, and this is why Crocodile is one of our Z Crystal users. So throughout the league, we nominate 2 Pokemon to be able to use Z Crystals. Only one per battle, as is the case. But really excited that Crocodile is on the squad. Is one of our Z users. So really excited to see what he can do for us. Our next pick, guys, is Darmanitan. Darmanitan, again, another fire type that I think I've used. I literally used it in the last season I did. So looking at it, guys, sheer force ability, really good ability. I love to pair it with a life orb, as everyone does. It doesn't really get a lot of moves that utilize that. The fact that sheer force nullifies the life orb recoil, because obviously it has to have a move that has like a secondary chance. So things like Fire Fang, Fire Punch, sorry. Perhaps even Flame Charge. I don't know if Flame Charge, obviously it's 100% chance to raise speed by 1. I don't know if that counts as a secondary thing. But either way, you wouldn't run Flame Charge, you'd be running Fire Punch. But looking at this thing's stats, 140 attack and 95 speed. Again, kind of like Crocodile, we wanted some more. We wanted something that can punch holes through teams' walls. And between these two, Crocodile and Darmanitan, that is something that's definitely going to happen. We can run things like a Choice Band, Choice Scarf. That's kind of the typical things to run. Again, can run a Life Orb. Not a lot to take advantage of. But this thing does get Earthquake, does get Fire Punch, Fire Punch, Flare Blitz, Hammer Arm. Let's have a look. Power Up Punch as well, Rock Slide, Stone Edge, and Superpower as well. Also gets U-Turn. U-Turn, which would be really handy. A bit of pivoting, keeping momentum around. I really like a bit of Volt Turn in my teams. So here's the first kind of U-Turn user that we have. Also gets Zen Headbutt as well, which is pretty nice. Again, just for coverage. So Darmanitan, really excited to use him on the team, and hopefully he can put in work for us. The sixth pick is Galvantula. Oh. This thing has caused me so many problems when I've played against it in draft format. Obviously, access to sticky webs is really clutch for this thing, and that's why I wanted to draft it. I wanted to have a bit of speed control in my team. So being able to set up sticky webs against a team that maybe is generally faster than mine, because I think I have, on average, looking at the analytics, I have the slowest team in the league. Obviously we do have a few speedy offensive threats, which I'm fine with. Like, obviously we look at the stats on this thing, 108 base speed, and 97 special attack. So again, this is another thing that's going to punch through walls. Kind of a bit, it tends to be a suicide lead, but there's no reason why we can't just slap a Life Orb on this and run house. Compound Eyes, so Thunder is a viable move. Thunder and almost 100 special attack, special attack base stat, whatever. That's nothing to be scoffed at. Obviously, things like Bug Buzz. Bug Buzz is a great move. Discharge as well, if you want to run for the power. Probably not going to happen on Galvantula, especially when, say, with Compound Eyes and Thunder. It's just a much more viable option. And that's kind of... There's not a lot of versatility with Galvantula. You kind of get your... It's typical to have kind of Volt Switch. Volt Switch, again, we have our Volt Turn in there. Keeping a bit of momentum. Obviously, with this thing being so fast as well, it can get a quick Volt Switch in there to get some chip damage off, and then switch out to something that can take an attack. Because this thing has no defenses. We know that this thing has no defenses. But again, a little bit of lack of versatility. So very easy to prep for, but not easy to actually stop. Not easy to actually stop, just because this thing is so fast. So if we can get webs up, then that could actually come in clutch for us for a number of games. Next, guys, the 7th overall pick, and completing our Regenerator core is Alomomola. I haven't drafted Alomomola since Season 4 of the APA Showdown season, and I fell in love with this thing the first time I used it. Again, like Galvantula, a bit of lack of versatility. You're looking at Wish, Protect, Scold, and Toxic normally. It gets Knockoff. You're not going to want to run it, because looking at this thing's base stats, 75 attack, it's mediocre. Even its defenses, 80 defense is okay, and 45 special defense, but it's massive 165 base HP attack that really sets this thing apart. So we can throw off massive Wish passes, because obviously the higher the HP stat of the Pokemon that is wishing, the more HP that gets back for whatever Pokemon you're passing into, or even yourself. And I was watching a video about this the other day, and this thing is so unique because it can Wish Pass, and with its Regenerator ability, so it can throw up a Wish, switch out to something else, so it heals up itself with Regenerator, and heals up something else as well. So that's really nice for us to have. So this and Tangrowth, it's going to be tough to stop. It's going to be tough to stop. Obviously, as I said before, our team was fairly susceptible to ice with Latias and Tangrowth, and obviously Crocodile as well. But obviously water, Alomomola is one of the bulkiest water types there is. And so it's going to eat up ice hits for days. Again, better on the defensive side, but no reason why we can't, why it can't take a couple of especially the defensive hits, to be honest. That's all there is to say about this thing, really. Obviously, it gets hydration as well, but that's not really something you're going to talk about. The fact that it is, again, not very versatile. It gets light screen. I assume it gets reflect as well. I don't know if it does. Can I check that? No, it doesn't get reflect. It doesn't get reflect. It gets light screens. Calm Minds. Who knows? Healing Wish as well. Healing Wish is another move, like Latias, that if we are in a pickle, we can throw it off, and it will give something a second chance to kind of come in and do some damage. But next, guys, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th overall pick for the Addlestone Ampharos this season is Hitmonchan. Now, we needed a fighting type. We needed a rapid spinner. And Hitmonchan is one of the best, in my opinion. It's more offensive than Hitmontop. I prefer Hitmontop, but that got sniped by, I think Panther took that. No, it could be another season. That could be another season. Sorry, Panther, if I've just completely called you out for no reason there. But looking at this thing's stats, 105 attack, 110 special defense. Assault Vest Hitmonchan is a very viable option. Speed 76, so again, not the speediest thing, but it's not. It doesn't need to be because it packs such a punch. As say, 105 attack is lovely. It really is lovely. Abilities, Iron Fist as well. Punch-based attacks are times by 1.2 in power, which is absolutely awesome. So a lot of punching moves, obviously. Bullet Punch, a bit of priority in there. Gets Earthquake as well, but obviously Elemental Punches get Fire Punch, Ice Punch. It doesn't get Poison Jab, as I discovered lately, which is annoying. But it does get Thunder Punch, Stone Edge, Rock Slide, and obviously Rapid Spin, as we said before. Also gets Pursuit. But the thing is, we're not going to be Pursuit trapping any Psychic types with a Hitmonchan, realistically. So probably won't run Pursuit, but you never know. You never know what could happen. It also gets Mach Punch as well. So we have two different types of priority there. Obviously, Mach Punch being Stab. But it's an option that we have. Obviously, if there's a Mega Diancie on my screen, which now this year in Sun and Moon, obviously it's much more viable because you don't have to protect first turn to set it up. It already has the speed boost from Mega Evolving. So Bullet Punch could be something that it's a very specific example, but it's something that we can use it for. Our next overall pick, guys, is another one of my personal favourites, Granbull, completing our Fairy Dragon Steel core. Granbull is an awesome Pokemon. 120 base attack, guys. 120 base attack, 90 base HP, 75 to physical defense. When that's paired with its Intimidate ability, this thing makes a fairly decent physical wall. And obviously it can switch in, and with its 120 attack, Stab, Play Rough is going to hurt a lot of things. Gets other moves like other coverage moves like bulk. I guess that's not bulk up. It does get bulk up, but that's a setup move. Close Combat, Crunch, Earthquake, Fire Punch, Ice Punch as well. It also gets Outrage. A Fairy type, no, Dragon type move. That's cool. Power Up Punch, Rock Slide, Stone Edge, Super Fang. Super Fang's another possibility we have. Super Power, Thunder Punch. Also gets Wild Charge. And it gets Thunder Wave as well, guys. Thunder Wave. So a bit more speed control we have, which is always nice. So really excited to see what Granbull can do. Also has Quick Feet ability, guys. So if it gets statted, then its speed is times 1.5. Only has 45 base speed. But it is something, again, with League, you don't know, it could be viable. It could be viable depending on the situation. Likely we're going to be running Intimidate a lot of the time just because this thing can be a decent physical wall. But other than that, I think Granbull's going to be an awesome addition to the team. And again, as I say, completing that Dragon Fairy Steel core. Our next pick, our penultimate pick, guys, we wanted another Stealth Rocker, so we went and got one. It's Regirock. This guy is an animal. I absolutely love him. Base 200 defense, base 100 special defense, 80 HP, 100 attack. This thing is pretty underrated, I'd say. Pretty underrated. Obviously, not the best defensive typing in the game. Far from it. But this thing, with 200 special base defense, you can't complain really. Obviously, it has a few resistances, so this thing does do its job. The main thing it's going to be is for setting up stealth rocks. But again, this thing can throw off a few hits as well. A lot of coverage this thing gets. Also gets Thunder Wave as well. So it's kind of an alternative to Gramble here. Obviously being a physical wall. And a lot of coverage moves. Drain Punch, Earthquake, obviously Explosion, as we've all know. If we've ever done the Nuzlocke, a randomized Nuzlocke and encountered a Regirock, you know it gets Explosion. Ice Punch, Iron Head. Rock Slide, Seismic Toss as well. Seismic Toss is another option. But this thing is clear body and sturdy as well. Sturdy gets its own built-in focus slash, which is nice if it happens to take a move that it isn't too fond of, a super effective move. This thing is bulky. It's bulky, and it's in to do a job. Obviously, you're getting to the end of the draft now, where the best ones are kind of gone, but I think we've got the best of that kind of tier here, guys. Regirock coming in to do the job, get those stealth rocks up, get out, try not to die, explode on some people, who knows. Really excited to use Regirock. Welcome to the team, mates. Finally, guys, our last pick is Cinccino. Cinccino, I love Cinccino because I used to have a chinchilla, but it died. Very, very sad. I've actually used to have 2 chinchillas, one after the other, both dead now. Pretty peak. Anyway, Cinccino, love it. 115 speed, 95 attack, hidden ability, skill link. All you need to know. Gets Technician as well, didn't know that, which is nice. But skill link, Bullet Seed, gets Rock Blast, and it gets Tail Slap as well. Bit of stab in there. So this thing can put in work, because that's nothing to be scoffed at. 95 base attack. 115 speed, so this thing outspeeds a lot, and it just makes us very hard to prep for, because now my opponent has to try and bring somebody, has to whack a scarf on something maybe to try and outspeed this thing, just in case. Obviously Mach Punch, this thing isn't taking a Mach Punch, it's got 60 defense. So it is an option. Again, it's the last pick, it's a tier 5 Pokemon. So it's not going to... Actually, it might be tier 4. I could be wrong. I'm not certain. But it's not going to be the MVP of the team. But it is there to make us difficult to prep for. And on the few occasions that we do bring it, it's there to put in a bit of work. And that's all there is to say about it, guys. This has been the draft recap for Season 1 of the APA Wi-Fi. If you are hyped, please smash a like button down below for us. Make sure you check out our first match of the season, which is going up on this Sunday. There may be a team builder. There probably won't be. Let me know down below. You've got a few days to kind of decide. Help me decide. Do you want to see a team builder or not? I'm leaving it up to you because I'm undecided. But that's all from me, guys. I've been your boy Elite4Dan. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope that you come out and support your Addlestone Ampharos as we go ahead and try and make this a successful first season for the APA. And hopefully, with a bit of luck, we can come out on top of the pile. Thank you for watching, guys. I've been your boy Elite4Dan. Peace.